Good morning, people. Me again. How you beautiful people doing? Saturday morning. Say 12:04 right now. Another beautiful day. Yeah. Sitting there reading up on some gaming news. I was reading an article about the world's fastest hard drive, and I was gonna talk about it. I said I was reading up on it, but then I seen an article about Scalebound. I said, you know what? Let me jump on this first before I even do anything else. But anyway, yesterday I was playing Batman Arkham Knight, and I was sitting there observing the details of the levels and everything, and realizing the amount of work that Rocksteady put into those games. Rocksteady put into Batman Arkham Knight. A lot of work, man. When I looked at the entire map, I'm sitting there watching the water move, and I'm diving and flying all over the place. That game is impressive. Batman Arkham Knight is impressive, man. Impressive. I remember playing. I think it was Batman Return on the. I think Batman Return and Batman Revenge of the Joker on the Super Nintendo and Genesis. And I remember playing. I remember saying to myself, "I can't wait till I see a Batman game in 3D." And then here comes Arkham. Here comes the Arkham series. Arkham Asylum had depth. Arkham City ain't no joke. Whew, man. Arkham Origins, yeah. And then Arkham Knight just topped it off, man. So I was looking at all them games, and I'm looking at the details, the levels, the amount of work that it took to get the game where they need to be. And I'm like, wow, this game is a masterpiece. I'm like, this game is a masterpiece when you look at it. Batman Arkham Knight is a masterpiece. I was like, wow. And I'm like looking at the entire map. I was flying all over to Wayne Towers and flying off the building and doing all kind of crazy tricks and stunts. And I'm sitting here down by the ocean where the bridge like broke off. And I'm like watching the water move in, and I'm like, wow. The game got replay value for days. And then to see what they did to the Return to Arkham series, how the water be moving, man, it's like, those games are collector's item, by the way. They're collector's items. So like once you get a copy, you better keep it. Cause man, those games got some replay value on it for days, man. It never gets boring. So anyway, man. Anyway, that's my talk about Batman. But let's get into this Scalebound thing. All right. So, me personally, when Scalebound first came out, when I first seen the video, I said, wow, the way that spider came out and jumped on the platform, you see the water running off the spider, and you're like, uh-oh. And you know this game has some depth and everything to it. And a lot of Xbox fans were looking forward to this game, and we still are. You know what I'm saying? And we still are. So we saw this game, and then a lot of us was like, okay, we're looking forward to this. And all of a sudden the news broke that Scalebound is no more. Well, me being the gamer I am, I didn't buy that story one bit. I'm like, nah. Scalebound ain't dead, because I remember what I think it was Naughty Dog over at Sony did with I think it was Last Guardian, I think, where it was supposed to come out on the PlayStation 3, but then they end up bringing it out on the PlayStation 4. So I'm like, so I'm sitting there like, okay, I seen some articles came out about Scalebound, before this one, and the developers talking about Scalebound is dead and blah. I was like, nonsense, that game ain't dead. And in my mind, I'm thinking the game got so big that they need to run it on a bigger hardware to bring out the entire details in that environment, because that video showed how deep that game is. Because when that spider jumped out and hit that platform, boom, jumped out of the water, hit that platform, and the way the water was running off his body, you're like, you realize that you need a powerful console to run this game. You can't shortchange it. So when Naughty Dog did I think it was Naughty Dog did the same thing, had an issue with Last Guardian, and it was supposed to come out on the PlayStation 3, but they said nope, we're gonna bring it on the PlayStation 4. I thought the same thing of Scalebound. So when developers came out and said, "Oh, the Scalebound is dead," and I didn't buy it one bit. I think the game is in development. It's only a matter of time before the game comes out. But anyway, listen to this article. It says here, Scalebound Revival will be a big win for Xbox Series X. Yeah, it will be a big win for the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One X, Xbox One S, and Xbox One because of the smart delivery upgrade. You know how many, man, Xbox fans will go nuts when this game come out. But anyway, says here, Platinum Games Xbox exclusive Scalebound was cancelled 4 years ago, but if Revive could prove to be a heavy hitter for the Xbox Series X, yeah, it would be. It would be, you know, it would be, because that would be a dagger, man. If this game, this game is like a dagger to me, like to the heart, man. Once it comes out, it'll make a lot of noise. But anyway, says here, Xbox brand isn't that strong in Japan. As the new generation progress, the company seems to be gearing up to change that by bringing more games from Japanese developers to Xbox. Ports of Xbox reputable Japanese games such as Yakuza, Final Fantasy, and Octopath Traveler have made their way to Xbox over the years. But if the console manufacturer really wants to boost the presence of Japanese talent on the system, it ought to take a look into the past. Announced at E3 2014, Scalebound was to be Platinum Games' first action RPG, and it would have been available exclusively on Xbox. Unfortunately, some behind-the-scenes issue prompted the cancellation of the game in 2017. In the years since, multiple members of Platinum Games staff have expressed a desire to revisit the project, keeping this in mind while also considering Xbox efforts to expand its presence in Japan. And it seems like a revival of Scalebound, though unlikely, would mutually benefit both Platinum Games and Xbox Series X and the Xbox One brand. Okay. Anyway, what footage exists of Scalebound is impressive. Like I told you people, gameplay demo shows an open world and a peek of some of the gargantuan beasts that the main character Drew would have encountered throughout one demo. Even gave a look at 4-player cooperative multiplayer mode, where players took on a titanic monster whose size was comparable to that of some of the larger colossi from Shadows of the Colossus. Microsoft's newest console could surely provide the amount. Like I was telling you, you guys, the game was so big. I think the game got so big, I don't think it could fit on the Xbox One. You need the Xbox Series X, but then with smart delivery, you might be able to play it. But anyway, it says here, Microsoft's newest console could surely provide the amount of power necessary for a title as big as Scalebound. The Xbox Series X solid state drive SSD has proved to be a useful tool for developers, in part because it allowed them to maximize the visual fidelity of their games. It also benefits players greatly by reducing load time, allowing them to spend less time waiting and more time playing. And then it says here, since Scalebound started development as an Xbox One game, a move to the Series X would likely expand the already massive scale of the project. It's easy to imagine how newest Xbox souped up internal could benefit Scalebound. The world would look more vibrant than it did before. The monsters more detailed. And the frame rate as smooth as butter. Xbox loves to talk about what the Xbox Series X brings to the table power-wise, But aside from next-gen upgrades for games, there's also available on Xbox One. There isn't yet a particular game that really pushes the hardware to its limits. Like I told you people before, it usually takes about 3 years to get used to a new console, because every time you put a new game on it, you're learning something new about the hardware. Anyway, let me continue reading. All things considered, Scalebound seems like it would have been one ambitious title, and if brought back, could be the perfect candidate to showcase what the Xbox Series X is really capable of. It says here, a title of Scalebound would undoubtedly be an expensive undertaking for Xbox as a publisher. Fortunately, turning a profit solely on games sales isn't the highest priority for Xbox. Rather, the company is more focused on cultivating the Xbox ecosystem through regular addition to Xbox Game Pass. Game Pass is certainly a force to be reckoned with. Facts. With more than 100 games available to play for relatively a small monthly fee, it's inarguably the best deal in gaming. However, the service can also be beneficial for developers, as Game Pass values as a promotional tool cannot be overstated. Facts. The recent hit Outriders debuted on Xbox Game Pass the same day it launches, which undoubtedly contributed to its success. Similarly to Outriders, Scalebound could also stand to benefit greatly from a Game Pass release. On top of simply promoting the game to a larger audience, putting it on the subscription service would probably work wonders for Scalebound cooperative mode. At no additional cost, it almost guarantees that there would always be someone, whether there's a Platinum Games fan or someone curious about the game, looking for a party to fight alongside. Scalebound for the Xbox Series X makes such sense for all parties involved. Xbox want to make it big in Japan, and Platinum Games really want to finish it. In addition, it be a great exclusive that would only further adds value to Game Pass. However, Xbox head Phil Spencer has made it clear that Xbox has moved past Scalebound, like, I'm not buying that statement, likely crushing any hopes of a revival. Even so, Xbox still retained the rights to the game. The ball is still in the publisher's court, and should Xbox ever decide to pick it back up, Scalebound on Xbox Series X seems like a slam dunk. And that's the end of the article. Okay, we know Sony and Nintendo are Japanese companies. So, and Xbox is an American-based company. So, of course, you're gonna have a little struggle, trying to gain traction in someone else's backyard. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have traction, trying to gain traction. But as a company with a console, that shouldn't stop you from improving your ecosystem and getting more games. And that's it. And Microsoft, is not focused on sales and exclusive like how Sony and Nintendo is. Microsoft is more focused on the infrastructure of their Xbox system, and to me as a gamer, that is more important than worrying about exclusive. The exclusive will come later. It's all about that infrastructure first, making sure stuff is in place. So when you get games, everybody on the Xbox ecosystem benefits. So Microsoft is doing fine. They made some moves, and the moves are working, so they're doing good. Now, as far as Scalebound goes, that statement that Phil Spencer just made, I'm not buying it one bit. I think here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Scalebound is gonna come. It's gonna come out is gonna come out like a surprise. Like I think the news of Scalebound is gonna die down a little bit, and then all of a sudden they gonna come out. They gonna like do like probably like a little preview video on this week on Xbox, and then surprise everybody with it like months down, like a couple years or months down the road. But to give up on a game like this of such magnitude, I don't see that. I don't see it. I don't think they're giving up on it. I think they're gonna surprise everybody with it. And like I was saying, that the game is so big that you need to bring out all the details in the environment. Like I've been telling people in videos that I've been doing when it comes to these consoles, that how important that is. Scalebound is that, because if you go back and look at the the video, that's a lot of details to bring. That's a lot of detail just for that one preview video. To bring that to life, man. And you need a console like the Xbox Series X to do it. So, as far as Game Pass goes, people gonna benefit from it, because once Scalebound comes to Game Pass, the Xbox fans get to play it, and then the iOS and Android peoples, they get to play it. So it would be a huge hit for the Xbox Series X, man, and Xbox One, with smart delivery upgrade. So yeah, it would benefit the entire Xbox ecosystem, and I think they should definitely continue working on this game. I think they definitely should. They definitely should. So the future to me, the future for Scalebound looks bright. It's only a matter of time before it gets revealed. And the good thing about this too is that they own the rights to that game. Could you imagine if they didn't own the rights and then all of a sudden, oh, Scalebound is on PlayStation? What? Man, the Xbox fan base would be furious. The Xbox fan base would be furious if that ever happens, man. So it's good that they own the rights to that game. So the future is still bright for that game. So me personally, I think the game is going to come out one of these years. It's only a matter of time, man. It's only a matter of time. It may not be on the Xbox. It might come out on the Xbox Series X, or it might come out on the next generation of Xbox. I'm saying after the Xbox Series X, it might come out on the next generation of Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So the next console release. You know what I'm saying? So the future is still good. So it's good that they own the rights to that game, man. Cause that would be a dagger if you take that game and make it and then put it on a PlayStation console, like what happened with Sunset Overdrive. Xbox fans would be furious. Okay, they would be furious. Okay, because a lot of Xbox fans are looking forward to this game. So, for them to try to give up on the game right now would be a huge mistake. I think they should continue making it, and then go on from there. But the future looks good, man. As long as they own the rights to it, the future looks good. So it's only a matter of time. And Phil Spencer probably tricked everybody with that statement that he just made. Just to throw people off, to make you think that the game is not being developed, and then all of a sudden, oh, we got Scalebound coming out this year in about a year or so. You never know, you know what I'm saying? So that's Phil Spencer for you. But anyway, this is good news, man. But it would definitely work on the Xbox Series X. Definitely, man. Game Pass, whoo, yeah, definitely, man. So something to look forward to. And as far as Xbox goes, Microsoft did it right. You know what I'm saying? Instead of focusing, they did it right. Instead of focusing on sales so much, let's work on our infrastructure and get stuff in place. Let's work on our infrastructure and get things in place, and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? They will get their games, man. They will get their games. They got the infrastructure for it, so they will get their games. Anyway, I'm going to leave a link in the description box with this article. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Bored, dark side. I'm gone. Peace.